Thousands of people across the valley, they use dating apps, but they are also increasingly being used by con artists.
Yeah, Tinder and Grindr grifters who target the wallets of lonely men and women. Our chief investigative reporter Morgan Lowe has this eye-opening investigation.
I think the natural appeal to it is there seems to have been a lot of volume of women on these sites, and it wasn't the typical bar scene.
Brian Kennedy had never tried online dating. Newly divorced, he thought maybe it would work out.
It seemed like that this platform was the new era of how to meet potential girlfriends.
But Brian now has a warning.
Like, how could I have allowed myself to have this happen?
About the one who broke his heart and cost him thousands of dollars.
Out of all the men on OkCupid, this one picked me.
She said her name was Rebecca, and the unlikely online relationship appeared to blossom.
This whole thing started with, I'm a single mom. My husband walked out on me 3 years ago, but I find you very attractive, this and that. So she fed on my ego, and my ego was being stroked by this young woman, and I had just gotten divorced.
4 months later, Rebecca had convinced Brian to help her with a business deal, give up his life in Arizona, and move to Germany.
I withdrew $7,000 from my bank account, my Chase bank account. I had it in cash. I had it in $100 bills. And I went to a Bitcoin machine over in Chandler, and I fed that machine $7,000 in $100 bills, 70 of them.
What was going through your mind as you were putting the money in there?
Part of me was saying, are you sure you want to do this? And it was nagging me pretty hard. And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a text message on Google Hangouts. And it says, Dear Brian. And as soon as I saw Dear Brian, I thought, I'm cooked.
What happened to Brian Kennedy is also happening to men and women across Arizona and across the country as online dating companies and apps grow increasingly popular.
This problem seems to be getting worse rather than getting better.
When I was prosecuting gangs 20 years ago, people needed a ski mask and a gun. Now all you need is a computer or a cell phone.
Mark Brnovich is the Arizona Attorney General, and he acknowledges that despite all of the warnings and warning signs, this happens a lot more often than people think, and the victims are not always out thousands of dollars. Often, it's just a couple $100s.
There seem to be a lot more small amount victims.
If you rip somebody off for $200 or $300, they're probably less likely to report that. And so if you can get 10 people for $200 versus trying to get one person for $2,000, I'm sure they probably think that that's the path of least resistance.
I bought a plane ticket, one-way ticket on Condor Airlines. I was going to fly from Phoenix nonstop to Frankfurt, Germany.
Brian was ready to start a new life with the woman he met online. He had just sent her $7,000 for a business deal, and then he received the text.
And she said, I'm not who you think I am. She goes, there is no Rebecca. She says, I'm a girl from Pakistan who needed money for my sick mom. And to pay for her college. And she goes, I'm sorry I did this to you.
Brian doesn't know what the real story is, but it's taken a heavy toll on him. Since that time, he met another one of Rebecca's victims.
And he kept saying to me, I'm going to go after her. I go, you're going to be going after a ghost. She doesn't exist.